Hi, this is Rust and Magic, and welcome to another video about getting DAZ characters into LightWave. Today we're gonna take a look at how to control bones and morphs using null objects, which is quite useful for many purposes. Okay, so here we have our DAZ character imported. Let's see if we can do something useful here. I would like to have a null object to control the neck movement. It's often easier to have a separate object to control it instead of having to find a correct bone and so on. So let's create a null object, and we're going to call this a neck control. Yes. Let's make it a ring, and we don't... let's make it 30 centimeters. That should be okay. And we don't need X-ray. Okay, so there we have the ring, and let's move it up to the neck. You can place this anywhere you want, but obviously it's a logical place to put it, somewhere there. The position is not important. Let's make it a little smaller. It's a little bit too big, I think. So we go to the Appearance tab and make it smaller. Let's make it 20 centimeters instead. That's okay for now. Okay, so that's going to be our object. When we rotate that, we want the head to rotate at the same time. So we go to the neck bone. That's the most obvious place. We can rotate the neck bone and the head will rotate. But we also have a head bone. I think it would be better to rotate both of these bones to make it better movement. So let's see if we can do that. But let's start with the neck. If we click M for motion properties, and then we can go down to the add modifier here, and let's find the follower modifier. There it is. We add that one, and if we double click on that, we have a number of settings. So first of all, we tell it what item to follow. And we want to follow the neck control object we created. So let's pick that. There it is. We don't need position, so let's disable all the position and also the scale. We're not interested in that either. Like that. And let's set the rotation to multiplied by 0.5, so we only get half the rotation compared to the null object. I will explain why in a moment. That should do it. So if we select the neck control now and we rotate it, the neck bone will rotate with it. Perfect. It only rotates half as much as the control, but that's what we want for now, because I would like to rotate both of them. So let's copy the follower modifier and paste it into the head bone. Exactly the same. We won't change anything here. We do exactly the same. So what happens now is that when we will rotate the controller, the neck and the head bone will both rotate will half as much as the control. And I think that will give us better deformation. Not sure, but I think it might help. So here we can see we can rotate the controller and the head goes with it. This is quite simple. And that's how you control bones with a null object. And this is very useful for lots of things. We can create rings around the spine and so on, and use this to control all kinds of bones. So yeah, let's move on with morphs. So for eye movement, let's see here. Let's hide the bones here, the right eye and left eye. Let's just click here so we don't see the bones. It's just annoying. And let's press D for display and turn on transparency so we can actually see the eyes in the viewport. Okay, there they are. Now we want to be able to rotate this left, right, up and down, of course. And let's create a null object to control the eyes. Like that. Let's call it eye control, I think. And we make this a, let's make it a ball, I think, yeah. And small one, 5 centimeters. don't need X-ray. And we close that. Okay, let's move this up to the head. Just move it out. It should zoom. Let's move it up more here. I can go on forever here. Let's zoom out a little bit. And move the ball up to the head here. Oh, bear with me 1 second. Almost there. Let's put it above the head for now. You can put it in front of the face, of course. The position is not important. Zoom in a little bit more here. There we have a good view. Okay, so this is going to control the eyes. And how do we do that? That's not easy to know when you're starting out. So let's pick the bone here. We have the right eye. And we rotate that. And nothing happens because I selected the wrong bone. It should be right eye 1. Now, there we are. You can turn the eye left and right here on the heading. And that's perfect. So let's do the same with the other object. Let's do M for motion on the bone. And then we add a follower here. Like before, not much different here. And we're gonna follow the eye control. And we're gonna turn off position. We're gonna turn off scale. Like that. We also gonna turn off pitch and bank. We only need the heading. That's for looking left and right. That should do it. That's all there is to it. Let's give that a try and see. We can copy it to the other eye also, of course. We have it there. It's the same. We don't need to change anything. And if we now change the heading of the eye control, the eyes follow with it. Perfect. So we can look to the sides now. That's a good start. Now, when it comes to looking up and down, it doesn't look very nice if we rotate the eyeballs up and down. That doesn't look very realistic. If we look in the morph mixer for the character, we have a morph, if you remember, to control the eyes. Where is it? Eyes up, down. There it is. And if we can see here, the eyelids and the skin follows with the eye here. It looks much, much better when looking up and down. And that's what we would like to use instead of rotating the eyeball like we do to the sides. So how do we do that then? Well, if we take and click on the E button for our morph, we get into the graph editor. And we have the morph channel selected, and under the modifiers tab, we can do the same thing here. We have got something called a channel follower. If we double click on that, we can tell it to follow the eye control pitch. Just find it here. There we are. Rotation P. That's our eye control. Double click on that. And the morph is 0 to 1. So we can't use the rotation value as it is. It will rotate too fast. Let's try 5% and see how that goes. So now the morph will be controlled by the null object's pitch. Let's see how that works. So we select the eye control and we go for the pitch control, and look at that. A little bit too far there. If we go too far, the morph goes crazy, but that's fine. So that works. Okay, let's maybe we should set some rotation limits on the eye there, so we can go down to -28 maybe. Yeah, I think that would be. And up we can go. Can we go to 30? Yeah, I think so. 29, 30. Yeah, something like that. So if we select the eye control and press M for motion and go to the controllers and limits, we can set the pitch limits here to minus, was it 28, I think, to 30 degrees, like that. Now we can't rotate any more than that. Perfect. We can look up and down using the morph. We get nice eye movement. And we can look at the sides using rotations. We need to set limits on that one too. Otherwise it goes crazy too much there. That looks scary. But it works perfect. So yeah, that's how you control bones and morphs using null objects. Very useful for all kinds of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon again.